Kirk was an assistant pastor at our home church for 7 years, and we got married, I think around his 5th year of being an assistant pastor. So we got married, and we just kind of knew from the get-go, okay, we're not going to be here forever. Maybe we should start our own thing.
We were all about sending mission teams overseas, supporting missionaries. We were all about the dot on the map. We wanted to have all the dots on the map that we could. And it was a wonderful church culture that we grew up in. We went on several mission trips. And every time I would go, I'd get this sense of, why aren't we doing what they're doing in our city? They would have a missionary we would support, and that missionary would have multiple pastors throughout all the villages around the main town that would have church plants all around the main church. And I thought, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we the main church and we set up and start new churches around in the smaller towns around our city? And so through that, and tragically through actually a story of a friend who passed away in a car accident, who was going to plant a church. And when he passed away, I had this nagging belief that someone needed to take his place and plant that church. But then we just started thinking, what's the biggest city closest to us? And where is there a need? We wanted to go where there wasn't, an evangelical church on every corner. We wanted to go and reach people who there was a lack of opportunity to what we would say, hear the gospel. And so, lo and behold, we started thinking about Cincinnati.
And then just as we were praying, we knew people in this city had been praying for someone to come. There's so many churches everywhere, but not a true Bible-believing church can be found in downtown. That's where we started.
We both had this heart of, what about people who don't have this opportunity? They're far from God. Maybe for whatever reasons, the cultures or the traditions that sometimes churches have built around have fenced people out. And they're not going to walk through the doors of the church, or they're hurt by the church. Is there a way that we can reach people who aren't being reached? We didn't know. We had no idea what it was to plant a church. We were so naive and foolish. And so as we grew in our faith, we realized that we didn't start a church. Jesus did 2,000 years ago. And we were just joining him. Good morning. Man, you guys got it set up, ready to roll? Welcome. Good to see you. Anything we can pray for you? Anything you need? I did chop for the Reds today. Well, I got the Reds today, but I'll be back at the end. Okay. How you feeling, man? Oh, you got the red on for the Reds. Come on. Good morning. How you doing, brother? Man, we missed you. Look how close it is to Midway. So keep that relationship. What time is it? I'm looking at my watch. What time is it? I need to leave here. Oh, I gotta go. We need to roll. We want to live as close to the church as we possibly can, so we're selling our house. If you've sold a house before and you staged it, half the stuff has to go, all your clutter, no one wants to see your dirty shoes, right? So all that stuff is in our cars. We got pets in our cars on Sunday morning, and we're heading into church, and we're heading into worship to lead people.
We have always been tear down setup from day one. We have moved 9 times in 9 years.
There's a lack of stability. There's a lack of continuity. And many times that's exactly what people are coming for, or what they're seeking for. Their life is unstable, or they're having issues with their life. And they're coming to Christ, or they're coming to the church to look for that stability. And as a church plant, you try the best you can to put your best foot forward, but you just don't have it. You just don't have it. And so you make it happen. Every Sunday you make it happen. Looking back at it now, I would never ask my wife to go through what she went through. I know there are many people in this room like me over the past 2 years have experienced a lot of personal loss, a lot of trial, frustrating seasons. You've had people leave, things changed, things were different, and some things that'll never be the same.
I think it's been really hard, especially with the pandemic and everything that has come from that. Seeing people not come back to church who were faithful before, losing people that way, losing staff, all of it, and in the midst of it, feeling like we want to quit ourselves. I think people think that pastors and pastors' wives are so resilient, and they don't feel the hurt and the pain that they do.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? For you are with me. You are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I'm here to tell you, God is not the light at the end of the tunnel. God is the light in the darkness.
Like, all through those years, like, I never felt like God didn't hear every single one of our prayers. I felt like God was just like, you guys got this. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
So when God opened up the door for this space, we were so grateful. And it's not about just the convenience. Yeah, I mean, it is nice when you put something down and then you show up the next day, it's still there. And to feel like there's a little bit of, okay, now we can focus on other things than just the logistics of making a gathering happen. We can focus on some of those spiritual components and the culture components of who we are.
In our outreach yesterday, we had a lot of people, and they were just like, had 4 kids, and all these families are coming and they have multiple children, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't go to church anywhere. Oh no, we didn't even know this was back here. Like, oh, we just wanted to see what it was. And we're like, oh my goodness, like inviting them into a community.
It's not just about what we can do. We're about a kingdom, not a castle. And boy, we can have a nice, pretty castle, we can build it up and everything can be great, but what about all those outside of the castle? Every person who walks the door, believe it or not, at Revive City Church, in the back of my mind, I think, is that the next church planter? We want to see a revival across the city, and the city impacted, where people of all different walks of life come, they find family, they meet Jesus, they find a community. Once they find that community in Jesus, their life is transformed and they discover their purpose. And then we make Cincinnati, that city, a launching pad throughout the whole world, all the cities of the world. All the families of the world are blessed because of Jesus. All the cities of the world can be blessed because of his church.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good
to see
you. Can we pray for my dad? He has to have surgery next month.
Does he next month?
Yeah.
Sure enough,
He's got a hernia.
Can I pray for him right now? What's Dad's name?
He has a heart for community. He has a heart for people from all different walks of life. He doesn't care. Like, he legit does not care what somebody looks like, how much money they make, where they've come from. He just wants to reach people.
And for me, the reason why I'm still here, number one, is because I felt called. I believe I was called by God. And when it got hard, and it got hard, and it continues to be hard, there continues to be challenges. But when you have the sense at the end of your life, you will stand before Jesus, and he will look you in the eye. And my heart's desire is that he would say, well done.